Okay guys, today I wanted to cover Hyperliquid, which is a platform that you can trade all kinds of different assets, including traditional stocks, commodities, all of the indexes, cryptocurrencies, etc. And you could use futures and perpetuals on this platform. So this is a one-stop shop. And I think this is one of the leading cryptocurrency candidates because of all the features that you have on this site. And there's a reason why this project is pumping so hard, and it's because a lot of people are leveraging this kind of trading because you can make a lot of money and only have to use very little amounts of your own funds. And I think that is something that's very interesting and attractive to a lot of people. And so I wanted to break this whole exchange down and show you step by step how to set this up so that you can utilize a platform like Hyperliquid or GMX, DYDX, Lighter. There's a whole bunch of exchanges that you can use these kinds of features, but they're not decentralized. And so having a decentralized platform where you're just using your own wallet as your own account is a much safer way to trade perpetuals and futures using cryptocurrencies than using the exchanges, because the exchanges, as like FTX, can be illiquid and just freeze your funds, and the next thing you know is you are out of a lot of money. So with all that being said, let's get right into this video. Now, the first place you're going to want to go is you're going to want to download a MetaMask wallet, Coinbase wallet, any wallet for that matter, but the one that works the best for this platform is MetaMask. And I recommend you never go straight to a site to download a wallet. You should come to their Twitter account, which is where you're going to find their actual website, their real one, because the last thing you want to do is download a fake wallet and then get your funds liquidated. So this is the actual address, metamask.io. So you can go ahead and click it, and then you can click the get started button, which will get you on the road to downloading. If you just click this right here. Unfortunately, I already have a wallet, so it doesn't let me do it again. So I will link a video on how to set up these wallets if you don't know how to set them up yourself. Okay, so the next thing you want to do after you set up your wallet, put in your seed phrase, passwords, and all that stuff. Once it is downloaded and installed onto your hard drive, then come over to Coinbase or any platform that has USDC Arbitrum. Okay, most platforms, Binance, I don't know, actually WeNex, I'm not sure about all the other ones because I don't have access to them because we're not privy to them here in California. So Coinbase, most people have, so I'm going to use this as the example of where I'm going to extract the assets you need to trade on platforms like Hyperliquid. So the first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some USDC and some Ethereum. So I'm going to go into crypto, which is on the home page here in Coinbase. I'm going to select crypto and it's going to show me all the assets. Go to Ethereum. I have $10 in here that I put just for this example. Once you select it, you're going to go into your wallet to grab the address so you can send the funds to. So on the top right corner, you're going to see your MetaMask wallet. So go ahead and click on it, little fox, and put in your password and enter. Okay. Once you're inside, you're going to see all your assets here down at the bottom. Okay. And you're going to click here. You'll see the drop down. These are all the different assets that you can hold on this wallet, and you're going to have to add them. So you see here, there's a plus button. You're going to have to click this plus button if you want that asset to be added to the wallet. And you can see all the ones that I've added up here already to this wallet. So Ethereum is already in here. So I click into Ethereum, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the receive, because that's what I want. I want to receive funds into this wallet. So once I click that, I'm looking for Ethereum. I click this button to copy the code. You can use your phone if you want to and just scan the QR code or copy the address down here, which is what I'm going to do. So once I copy that address, now I have the address that I'm going to send my Ethereum to. Now that I'm going to come back here on Coinbase, I'm going to click send crypto, and then I'm going to paste the address into the email search bar. I'm going to paste it, and it already has a lot of the stuff that I got going on here inside. All right, so it's already saved for me. So make sure it's the right one, 1842 CD, 1842 CD. You can tell these are both the same because every address is the same on a MetaMask. Just know that. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and then I'm going to click and choose, because there's different types of Ethereum, right? Just layer 2s, and we're choosing Arbitrum because Arbitrum seems to be the one that these exchanges like Hyperliquid, Lighter, GMX, DYDX favor. Okay, it runs much smoother. So you're going to choose Arbitrum on Ethereum. Okay, so once you click that, does your recipient accept ETH on Arbitrum? Yes, it does. Don't ask me again. Cool. And then you're gonna put whatever amount. I'll just put $2 because again, this is just an example. Click your preview and then you're just going to send, okay? So as that's sending, let's do the next one because you're gonna need also USDC. So if you come back to the wallet, okay, you come back to the MetaMask wallet, you look inside, you go to Ethereum, check your balance before you send. So you know, I think it was 40, so I think I'm good. I got to 42 now. So next thing, go to Arbitrum. So you wanna go to Arbitrum and then you want to go down here to USD because that's the other coin that we need in this wallet, or USDC, whatever you want to call it. So go ahead and click this. Okay, same thing, even though the address, so go ahead and click receive, and then you're going to come and scroll down and go to Arbitrum. Then you're going to select copy the address. Cool. Now we have the Arbitrum address and we're going to come back here and I'm going to go back to our homepage. We're going to go to cash and then we're going to select USDC. So now that I got the USDC selected, I'm going to go ahead and send crypto. I'm going to go ahead and paste the address in the search bar. And again, the address is the same for everything. And then down here, I'm going to choose Arbitrum. And again, I'm going to send a couple bucks. Preview, make sure it's Arbitrum, make sure it's the right address. Cool, send now. All right, so now that we have sent the funds into our wallet, $61, so we have $4 more than we had before because it was at 57, right? So we sent 2 to Arbitrum and 2 to USDC just to make sure. All right, now that we have the funds in the wallet, now let's go back into Hyperliquid. Now we need to take another step and deposit money or the Arbitrum into this account. If you scroll down to the bottom here, you're gonna see this deposit button. So you're gonna click the deposit button and then you're gonna go to your asset. We're choosing USDC, correct? Which kind of USDC? We're gonna do Arbitrum, right? That's what we chose as the type of USDC that we're going to be using. Let's just do 10. Cool, deposit. And now it's going to ask you to confirm the transaction in your wallet. Go ahead and confirm. Cool. Back to home and we are good to go to start trading. So now that you have deposited money into this account, where you would find your balance is that you would come over to the top here and you go into portfolio. So once you click on portfolio, run down to the bottom here and you can see balances. One, I don't know how much I have in here, like 70, 78 bucks. Cool. So it will tell you your balance of USDC or whatever other assets you have that you're holding in here. Cool. Other stuff you can do inside of this platform. If you wanted to earn some yield, you can stake in here, guys. I could have just been holding my USDC in here and been making some extra money, but I didn't do that. Also, I believe Hype is the other one that you can stake in here in order to earn rewards and a bunch of other perks. And then you can get a referral code if you wanted to and make money off of anybody that uses this site. But we're here to trade. So go back to the trading UI. You're gonna click on trade on the top left corner. And then now we're on the interface. Everything's pretty much the same as any exchange that you trade with, right? TradingView or Binance, whatever you're using to trade. It has the drawing tools on the left-hand side, exact same as almost every other platform. You have all the major indicators. And then I'll walk you through the bottom. I'll do a little quick order just so you guys can see what it looks like on the bottom here. And then if you look on top, so this is the important part. If you want to learn how to leverage trade, you're gonna have to learn how to use all these little switches and dials, right? So first thing you want to do is you want to use isolated. And so isolated is essentially the amount of money that you want to put into the trade, okay? Cross means that you're allowing, say you had Hype and Arbitrum and Ethereum and Solana and a bunch of other coins on here. That means that if you're using cross, that means you're allowing the platform to leverage all of your assets that are on this platform in any trade, which can be very dangerous because I don't know if you have $100,000 on here and using cross and you didn't use a stop loss, you could lose all your money. So I would highly recommend, especially if you're getting started, to use isolated because that just isolates the amount of money that you want to put in any given trade. So once you've selected that, go ahead and press confirm and now you're on isolated, okay? And this is where you're going to choose what type of order that you're going to, actually before I even get into that, this is where you pick the amount of leverage, okay? So this amount of money that you want to borrow, okay? So if you click on this, now every asset has a different amount of money that you can borrow. And I'm on XRP, I believe, right now. And so for XRP, you're allowed to borrow up to 20 times what you put in. So if you put $100 into a trade and you want to max leverage on XRP, if you're putting $100 times 20, that's $2,000. So your trades can be as big as $2,000 with borrowing 20 times the amount of whatever you're putting in, which which in that example would be $100, right? So play with the leverage, but make sure that you're being careful, okay? Now on the left-hand side, this is where you can choose the assets and see how much leverage that you have available to you for each and every asset. And it's gonna say it right here on the right-hand side next to the ticker. You're gonna see how much you can borrow, 25, 50x for the S&P, Brenton Oil, 28. So these are all traditional finance stocks, commodities, indices. So you have at your disposal almost any stock that you want to trade. There's hundreds here. Commodities from copper to silver to gold, anything that you would want to trade on any major TradFi platform where you'd have to get into a prop firm and you'd have to pass a test and you'd have to get a broker and do all this bullshit. You don't have to do any of that with crypto. Okay, you just have to get money over into these platforms and you can trade what everybody else is trading on traditional finance, right? At least the important ones. So you can sift through all of these. They got a trending tab, what's hot right now, pre-launch, a bunch of stuff that you can go through and sift and see if there's anything that you find interesting to trade. But just know that each and every asset has a different amount that you can borrow, and they base that on volatility, how wild these things swing. But either way, this is a great place to trade if you don't want to get into the whole traditional finance loopholes. Okay, so those are the assets. Now on the right hand side, let's go back. Now that I've showed you where all the leverage is at. Now market is if you want to, whatever this asset is trading at, whatever price is trading at, this is, you're just gonna buy based on what it is. Limit is something in the future. Say something is worth $2 right now, but you wanna put an order in for when it's $1, okay? And you can put that order in for whenever that day is that it hits that $1 mark, then you would automatically trigger a buy, right? And I'm not gonna get too complicated in all of the different types, but stop limit is basically a stop loss, and I'll show you how to use that. Stop market, same thing. So these are different take profits and stop loss options, but I won't get into those because I'm gonna do it down here. So now that I'm on market, because I wanna buy based on what the price is currently, right? You wanna put in an order right away. Now I had what, 70 bucks in here? It had 50x. It was the S&P. Okay, so say you wanted to trade the S&P. Okay, so I just went and read the documentation, and apparently they don't have, this is why it switched back to cross right away, because they don't offer isolated anymore, which is very sus. But either way, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I have $79 in the account or whatever it was. Let's go back to check real quick. So we have $76 in here. Okay, so $76 is the total amount of collateral, and it just takes that collateral. It doesn't isolate it. So whatever you have in here, just beware that it's going to use the whole amount. Okay, so now using 76 times 50, which equals 3,800. So you can slide the scale and make a judgment as to how big your trade is going to actually be by sliding here. So isolated apparently is non-existent anymore for Hyperliquid, which is bizarre, but that's fine. You just have to be careful and just be aware of the size of your trade here and what you're comfortable trading. But just know that $76 can turn into $3,800 by using leverage. Just know that your trade can only go back on you $76 before you're out of money. Okay, so just be aware of that. But I'm gonna tell you how to protect yourself from losing any money. If you don't want to lose any money, you can just have a very tight stop loss. So let me show you the rest of how to use this platform. Okay, so the next part is that you want to select which way do you want the trade to go. If you think price is coming down, then you can go ahead and go short, right? If you think price is gonna go higher, you go long. Okay, so there's two buttons that you have to worry about. There's just these two. All right, after you select market, just these two. And then you're gonna decide how much money you wanna spend. So I'm gonna jump into a trade to actually show you guys what it looks like once you're in a trade and how you can manage it accordingly. So again, isolated is not an option on this platform anymore. So whatever you have on this platform is what you can use as collateral. So for me, it's like 76 bucks. When you multiply 76 bucks by 50, then you're gonna get around $3,800. So you don't have to use the whole amount. You can use half, you can use 75, 25, whatever is comfortable for you. You gotta be responsible for your own financial decisions, but you can be very responsible by making sure that you do use a stop loss so the loss is minimal. Let me show you how to set that up as well. What you're gonna do is decide which way you want to bet the price is gonna go. You're gonna bet the price is gonna go up, you're gonna go long. If you're gonna bet the price is gonna go down, you go short. Let me look at the RSI real quick. I'm not gonna do anything serious right now. This is not how I trade typically. I have a full course and communities where I cover futures on DeFi and crypto almost exclusively at this point. So if you guys are interested to learn this kind of trading, check out my links, check out my communities. It's all there, and I have free courses as well. So all that being said, let's jump into this trade. I'm gonna say that price is coming down. Let's just assume that price is going to come down. Whether I'm right or wrong, that is not the point here. I'm just gonna show you how to set this up. So I'm gonna go short. So I'm gonna press sell, right? And so the next thing you wanna do, since we're gonna go down, right? Since we're betting price is going down, then I'm gonna put a stop loss above, right? You wanna make sure if price goes up against your direction, that you have a stop loss just in case it does take off and go the opposite direction. You're just using responsible trading habits, right? I'm gonna put a stop loss, let's just say around 74.50. Okay, so 74.50, which is just right above where price is right now. And then I'll take profit way down here. Yeah, 74.30. And on the right hand side, you're gonna see how much you would gain at that level, right? At that take profit. You could switch between the percentage, or you can switch to dollar amounts, and that'll give you a good representation. So if it drops to 7,400, I lose $1. If it goes up to 74.30, I gain $11, right? Let's go ahead and put the order in. So I'm ready to go. Everything's all set. I got my amount. I got direction. I want to make sure it's a market order, right? And the rest is good. So let's go ahead and press place order. And now I want to show you what this looks like. Once I press place order, it's going to give me a little confirmation here. You can go ahead and press that. Then what you're gonna see is you're gonna see this line is where your order is at, right? This is where you made the order, okay? And you can see it reflected on this side. And then as far as where your stop loss and your take profits are, my stop loss is way up here, okay? And if you don't want it that far away, right? You don't want price to go up that high because that might cost you a lot of money once it does trigger. So if you want it to be really tight, you can do that. You're not gonna lose very much if it hits the stop loss that tight. And then if you wanted to move the take profit, you could do the same thing. So it's kind of nice. It's very visual. It's very user friendly. And then if you wanted to close, for example, you wouldn't want it to hit your stop loss. And so what you could do is you could just click this X right here on this little column, this little box, and you can get rid of the stop loss just like that. If you wanted to, you can come down here to orders. Here's my take profit. Since I already closed the stop, I can also cancel down here. I can get rid of my take profit down there, and now my order is just naked, right? It doesn't have any protection or take profit. I have to manually get in and out of the trade myself. But if you're working or if you have things to do and you're pretty confident about your trade, you can set up a take profit and a stop loss and just walk away from your desk knowing how much you're willing to risk to lose, and also what you're looking to gain if it does hit your take profit. That's all stuff I do teach inside of my courses, inside of it's more of a mentorship, so it's more one-on-one. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. All right, now all that being said, I'm gonna get out of this because it's probably reversing on me. I'm not paying attention, so I'm gonna go ahead and cancel all. And if you're on, make sure you're on your position here, and then you can close all right here. If you want to close everything, you just hit that, or you just want to specifically hit the market order, the limit order, you could do that as well. But I'm just gonna hit close all. And also it has these little bubbles on here to show you where you got in and where you got out. You bought here, you sold here, right? So you can see how this could be not as difficult as people want to make it sound, especially because people think that you can lose a lot of money, which you can if you don't use stop losses, right? You have to be responsible trader and be aware that price can run and go the opposite direction. And if you have a certain amount of money you're willing to lose, 10 bucks, 20 bucks, 100 bucks, then you can set it and know how much by looking at the settings on the right hand side, how much you're going to lose if it goes against you and how much you'd make if it goes in your direction. So there's so much money to be made in futures, guys, without having to risk so much of your own money. And that is the main reason why this is all I do. This is all I speak about. This is all I teach. And I have quite a few strategies on how to actually trade and develop insight to which direction price is going to head. So check out the links, check out the groups. I'm probably going to do a 7-day free trial, so check it out. Either way, I hope you got something out of this and you learn how to use a platform like Hyperliquid. So keep your trades tight, your vibes high, and try not to get yourself wrecked. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.